Daniel was 37 years old. He had sharp features, wore clean suits, and always looked like someone who had made it in life. He worked in a tall building in the city. He had his own office, and people greeted him with respect every morning. But most evenings, he went home to eat alone. And most mornings, he woke up with a heavy heart. Something felt missing, but he could not explain what it was. From the outside, Daniel looked like a successful man, but on the inside, he felt tired and empty. Meetings, reports, emails, phone calls, day after day. Even on weekends, when he should be resting, his mind would not stop thinking. He stayed up late at night, just scrolling through his phone, looking at pictures of strangers smiling in places he had never been. And he thought to himself, I have everything I ever wanted. So why do I feel like I have nothing? One Friday night, it became too much. Daniel stood in his big, beautiful apartment. He looked out at the city lights with a glass of wine in his hand, and felt nothing. His phone rang. It was another work message. He turned it over, screen down. He did not answer. Instead, he picked up the phone and called his mother. She was surprised he had not called in months. After they talked for a while, she said something that hit him hard. Danny, you sound tired. He stayed quiet for a second. Then softly said, I am, Mum. I really am. The next week, Daniel asked for time off from work. He packed a small bag and went back to his hometown, a quiet village far from the busy city. It had been years since he had visited. He walked down the dusty roads, saw children playing, and greeted old neighbors. Some remembered him, some did not. The air was calm, the silence was peaceful, and for some reason, it felt more like home than his expensive apartment ever did. That evening, Daniel sat under a tree with his uncle and two older men from the village. They talked about small things, like weather, football, fuel prices, nothing serious, and they laughed. Daniel laughed too. Not the fake office laugh, but the real one. The kind that comes from deep inside you. The kind you do not even plan. Every day in the village was slow and peaceful. Daniel walked through the fields he used to play in as a boy. He helped his mother sweep the compound. He sat at the local markets and watched life pass by. He began to remember who he was before the pressure, before the suit and tie. And one night, while sitting by a small fire with the village boys, he said something out loud. This is the life I left behind. But maybe, this is the life I truly needed. One afternoon, Daniel found a letter. It was an old one, from his late father. The letter said, Son, go and chase your dreams. But never forget where your soul feels at peace. Daniel sat with that letter in his hands. He thought about life. When it was time to return to the city, Daniel was not the same man. He packed light. He walked slowly. He was not rushing toward anything anymore. He was just at peace. He finally understood something very deep. You can have everything and still feel empty. And you can have less and still feel full. Back in the city, everything looked the same. Same job, same roads, same people. But Daniel was different now. He still did his work well. He still wore his nice clothes. But now, he also made time for rest. He called his mother often. He said no to things that brought him stress, and yes to things that brought him peace. He did not just live, he felt alive. Daniel used to think success was about having big things. But now he knew, true success is when your heart is light, when you feel joy, when you know who you are, and where you come from. He had chased the life he thought he wanted. And in the end, he found the life he truly needed. Sometimes, what we are looking for is not far ahead. Sometimes, it is behind us, in our old stories, in quiet moments, in the people who knew us before we forgot ourselves. When we slow down, we begin to remember. And when we remember, we start to heal.